Well, hello everybody. DM Galabond here. We are getting ready to have our next session of Saturday Night Greyhawk, and you are listening to the dulcet tones of Sirenscape. This is a sound set called The Friendly Tavern, and there's some musicians playing, and there's some people eating in the background and drinking, clinking of mugs. You'll hear some occasional laughter, and even some people that have had a little bit too much to drink from time to time will let out a nice little belch there. So, hope everybody is having a great start to their new year. The players are trickling in. I'm going to go ahead and bring the music down a little bit. And I am going to change our sound set over here. And players, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too.
Hope you did.
Happy New Year, all.
Wishing I'd moved south in the summertime.
I don't know. It's been a little bit. It's been kind of crazy down here. I mean, clearly not anything super cold, but it's been warmer than usual sometimes, and then be like overnight. The next day will be like 30 degrees cooler. So it's like, it can't decide whether it wants to be kind of autumn weather or whether it wants to be summer weather again.
We've had some craziness like that, except for going from autumn to winter and back. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So now we are going to change over to a sound set called Dungeon Depths. And this is just sort of ambient sound within the dungeon. And players, hey! So let's take a look and see who all we have here. Happy New Year to everybody. I got a message from Heather that she's going to be a few minutes late. So I see we have Bob, Casca, Jason, and Marcel. And just a little bit of a programming note. Joe, who was playing our dwarf cleric, Nico, he is no longer going to be able to join us. So we are going to start our session with a little bit of a cutscene. And then after the cutscene, we will go into the recap. As you all are in the wizard's laboratory here, and everyone is standing around looking at this small iron box of unspeakable evil, suddenly Nico just stands up a little bit rigid, and his eyes kind of shift back and forth like he's either reading something or he's trying to figure out something. And then his brows furrow a bit, and then he nods and he says, "Yes, right away. Tell the warlord I will be there." And then he looks around at all of you and he says, "Friends, I've just had a message by magical means from my holdfast. There is a matter. There's a matter of utmost importance in our holdfast, and I must return immediately to the Kron Hills. I am sorry. I can no longer continue adventuring with you. I wish you good luck. And then he looks over at Archimedes. He says, "This is not a matter of Clangadin. This is a matter of my clan. I do not think you will be able to assist me." And then he starts to walk off, and he says his goodbyes to everyone, excuses himself, and without any fanfare or anything, he sort of heads off. Those of you who are close to the hallway, you'll see when he gets out there, he has a brief discussion with one of the gnolls that's in the hallway, and one of the gnolls goes with him as he heads out and goes up and out of sight. And then in a few minutes, you all will hear from Geralt, the leader of the gnolls. He will come and he will say that Edneg and Isnab decided to accompany Nico as far as the old Moat house, and they will then come back after they get him safely to the Moat house. Because once he gets there, he can go with humans to the towns and then find a way to get to his holdfast. So he has had to leave. Absolutely, Bob. His treasure that he had gained up to this point, he would take with him, but kind of the biggest identifying thing that you all have found is this big iron box, and you still haven't figured out what to do with that, and he wasn't wanting to touch that anyway. So there's really nothing other than possibly one of the cloaks, which all of you have cloaks. There's a million of those. There's nothing really important that way. Out of character, if we discover that there was anything kind of essential to the plot that he had, that will be put back into party treasure. But otherwise, all of the stuff that he had earned is going with him.
I didn't know if he had the ledger or anything else that he had accompanied from the Moat house or any of that kind of stuff. So I didn't know if.
I don't think so. I think all of the written stuff is with the wizard.
Okay,
is with
perfect.
Min. So I believe. Right, so we're gonna take this and put that over there. All right, and then to recap what happened in our last session. No, it's a little bit backwards, but just to remind everybody and bring them up to speed again. You finished up the fight with Smigmal, and then you fought Falrinth, the wizard. You followed him down to his little laboratory down here, and he tried to sneak by you with magical darkness, but he was felled during that. And then you began looking around, and you found if anybody has not yet looked at the experience and treasure log from last time, you found a bunch of stuff in these 2 rooms. You're not sure whether 1 cart is going to be enough to carry it all. Because there's just a lot of stuff. Or you might have to figure out whether you want to take any of the furniture, some of which looks pretty valuable, others which looks rather mundane. But there is this issue sitting here on this particular desk is a dark iron box. And Arcturus and Nico both had looked at it, and they both said, "Oh, that's very evil." And then Talon examined it very closely, and Talon said, "Yeah, we probably don't want to touch this." But at the same time, we probably don't want to leave it here either, because it's something really evil, and you guys will have to figure out how to deal with it. So, what as you all are looking at this iron box, what would you like to do?
Well, I have an idea. Is there kind of like a blanket or an extra robe or something around here? Like
there's
around?
Yeah, there between this room and some of the other rooms, there's extra clothing that the half-orc had. There's some sheets and stuff from the bedding from either one of them.
Yeah, I'll go grab a blanket off one of the beds.
Okay.
And I'll get my sack out, and I'll put the blanket over the box, and I'm going to grab the box and put it in the sack.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're keeping the box closed, and you wrap it up in the blanket, and you put it in the sack. You don't feel anything from it. But yeah, it's there, and now it can safely be brought to whomever you think might need to look at it.
Keep it in a separate backpack. I'm sure there's a backpack around somewhere. Or a sack.
How big is this?
This chest it's a black iron box. It's not huge. Let me just verify the dimensions, if it tells us exactly what
it
the
was
dimensions
sitting on
are.
a table, like probably like a jewelry box.
It does kind of have the dimensions of a jewelry box, so maybe
the sack would be big enough.
Yeah. Maybe like 8 inches long and about 6 inches wide and about 5 or 6 inches tall. So it's not quite square, a little bit longer than it is wide and tall. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you. Sorry for being late.
No, that's all right.
Walmart was a little on the nutty side tonight.
Yeah.
This is abnormal.
So, we're in the chamber with all of the loot. We just figured out how to safely get the evil iron box into a container. Goonie or Heather, I presume you've had a chance to look at the experience and treasure sheet and
Not
see
quite,
all
because
this.
my system is going So as soon as
Okay.
it stops, you bet.
Okay. Yeah. But if people have not looked at that, would be a good idea to go into your journal and look at the experience and treasure sheet. Find out what you all want to take out of here. If there's anything you don't want to take out of here other than, furnishings. And if there is any of the furniture you want to take out of here, you can let me know what you want to. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. And I tried to break it down by where you got it from. The North Room or the thief, half orc, and then the south rooms were the wizard.
Oh my goodness.
I think we had decided that that the wizard should get the mage should get the ring of invisibility, so she could, when combat starts, just turn invisible.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
As I sit here and rub my hands together looking at this pile of loot.
Yeah, it is. This time, pile is right.
It just scrolls on and on.
Yeah. It's like, gee, Gary, you warn us as DMs. You warn us not to give too much treasure. Okay, but...
What if you did anyway?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is everything that's in the module that the party is supposed to find. So it's like there's a couple of places where you go in and you do that. Now, there's one thing that people might be thinking, and I was thinking it's possible, but there is no definite, nothing definite in the adventure, so I am saying it's not. That little jade statuette of the frog that has its tongue out, it has a little black fly on the end of its tongue, and they call it an ebony fly, but they don't say that it is a magic item, figurine of wondrous power. So I'm going to say it's not. It's just a little ceramic fly on the tongue of a ceramic frog. For whatever that's worth.
So what we don't take, just we have to leave here, or how far was this place from the place we're setting up?
Okay, you have a total of 9 gnolls. Now you're down to 7 gnolls because 2 of them left with Nico when he went back to Hommlet. There's 2 of the gnolls out of the 7 are at the tower. 2 of the gnolls out of the 7 are in the tunnel where the tunnels all connect, and then the other 4, or the other 3 gnolls are at the cottage, and they brought the cart around to the cottage. So the 3 gnolls with the cart and the horse are at the cottage, and they're, just kind of watching that end. And then there's people keeping watch over at the ruins of the tower. And then there's a couple of people down in the tunnel just making sure that nothing sneaks up on you from some way that you haven't discovered yet. So you can employ some of those gnolls if you want to help you carry stuff out. And basically the limitation on what you can carry is basically how much can you stuff into a cart that can be pulled somewhere. And then the question will be, you guys were on your way to Nulb. Do you want to try to go to Nulb, or do you want to try to go back to the Moat House or back to Hommlet? How do you want to proceed with that?
Me personally, I wouldn't mind taking this load of stuff back. The big stuff, if we could get
back to
our place.
The Moat House.
Okay, so back to Hommlet ultimately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Basically where your allies are.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then
Sounds good.
Basically carry what we can.
Okay.
I mean, we could use some of this furniture to put in the Moat House so it's not quite so sparse. I mean, if you want to take the furniture back.
Yeah. You could.
Well, I mean, take the best examples, but I don't think we need to take. If it's junk, don't take it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I break stuff up into loot and treasure. The loot stuff is, some of it might be useful, but none of it is particularly valuable. About the only thing that's unusual in the loot is part of the collection of weapons that the half-orc had. And but other than that, it's just kind of things like a wardrobe, a bench, a stool, a bucket, the bed, things of that nature. And then in Falrance, there's bookcases and cabinets and bed, stool, table, stuff like that. But then the treasure stuff is probably the stuff that actually has a decent amount of GP value.
I kind of look at everybody and go, pretty much what's in here in this place could decorate and supply our new quarters and home. And the more we take out of here, maybe in a couple of trips, as far as, getting a wagon with a horse and whatever, the less likely it's going to leave it available for someone else to move in afterwards, because there's nothing of comfort.
We do have all those horses back at the stables, too. I don't think there was a cart or anything there, but we could pile a few more things on top of them to take back.
Yeah, you could see if there's any saddlebags there at the, there is definitely tack and harness and stuff for riding the horses. You could check that area and see if there's some saddlebags or things that you could lash onto the sides of the horses to carry more stuff.
Take and tie a rope between two sacks and just hang them over.
Yeah.
Horse that way too.
So,
yeah, you could do that.
Well, yeah, but what she's saying is, if we go back with a first load of the most important stuff,
yeah,
and leave a couple of gnolls to guard here, and make, pack train out of the other horses, then maybe we could ride into town and get a couple of wagons or rent them, borrow, whatever, and bring them back and load stuff up and take it to our new place. And, pretty much anything that's not worth leaving, that's broken or crappy or whatever, we can just burn. And then that way we can always make sure that there's nothing that we accidentally left behind or and there doesn't leave anything for any other thieves or whatever to move in afterwards.
Okay, so let's focus then on breaking down this list a little bit. Would we agree that everything under the treasure heading would be stuff that you would want to try to get out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
that stuff, let me look through that. There is probably only one, I think there's only one item that might need some special handling or some special examination before you take it out of here. And that is right near the bottom of the treasure list. There is an open cabinet. And Alan, you noticed that open cabinet. I'm going to ping it on the map for you. This open cabinet, the back of that cabinet radiated magic somehow.
Well, I'm going to see if I can move the cabinet.
Okay. See if
it'll slide or... Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. You start examining that cabinet, and you realize that it is articulated in a way. However, there doesn't seem to be an obvious way that you can manipulate it. Give me a... I'm going to say this is... Or let me do this for you. I'm going to say this is related to your find traps ability. So I'm going to pull up Talon. And I'm going to go to his character sheet and click and find his rogue abilities here. So let's say you are in your leather armor.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to say okay. Yeah. All right. You realize that there is a place on the side of one of these legs that has a circular indentation with an irregular shape at the bottom of that indentation. And you noticed when you were going through all the stuff, there was a brass rod. And one end of that brass rod has kind of something weird on the end of it.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to, put that into that brass rod, push in on that irregular spot then.
Yeah, you do. It clicks into place, And then you realize that that rod can be manually turned. And as you start to turn that rod, this cabinet very slowly begins to open out. There's 2 leaves from the table that begin to raise up. And as they raise up, you see some decorations. And then from the back, sliding up, there is a mirror. And as you look at that mirror is the thing that radiated magic. But the rest of this, is actually a okay. Okay. All right. Come on. As you open this, as you continue to open this cabinet, you realize that the what is unfolding is a small shrine. This shrine is inlaid with gold, with a black interior, upon which is inlaid a silver spider web, mother of pearl stars, and a garnet orb. And as the leaves of this shrine unfold, an ebony statuette of the demon lord Lolth rises from a cavity in the base to stand before the web. And you guys may recall that when you were fighting Lareth in the dungeon underneath the Moat house, his quarters were all decorated in a motif that made it seem like he was a servant of Lolth.
We've seen this before.
You've seen something like this before. This is incredibly valuable.
Is this is this Lolth is like a dark elf image or a spider or what?
It is Lolth in her visage as a dark elf, and she is surrounded, or she is wearing a gown that appears to be made of spider silk, and there are, carved into this little statuette, there are little spiders that are crawling on that gown. There's also a couple of large spiders that are flanking her, and she has a spider web motif on the gown itself. So, yeah, it's her humanoid form, but very much evokes all of her spider powers. And her spider affinity.
Oh, yes. This is going in a sack.
Oh, yeah.
Arcturus, you kind of know that the church really likes whenever you find iconography of the demonic gods and goddesses, that your church likes to have those destroyed.
Even men will be looking at that or will wander in as you guys are finding that, and it will kind of like like a cat.
Out of nowhere.
Oh.
Hey, calm
Hopefully you're
down.
gonna describe that.
It's just some artwork, and look, it's a statue of elves.
It must
You're
be a
elves? No, what? It's just a statue. Chill out.
It's
Calm down.
evil.
Here, I'm putting it in the sack. It's fine.
Okay, yeah,
I want to raise a point to you. How about, instead of putting it in a sack, we put it on the table, and I take this sword and destroy it.
How about I put it in a sack, and then you don't have to be around, and I sell it?
I have a better idea. How about you
And
put it
that
in a sack,
disease elsewhere.
you put it in a sack, put the sack on the table, and I take over the sword and destroy it.
I hate to say this, but for once I think I agree with him.
Finally, someone who sees reason.
It's just art.
Yes,
It's bad art.
It's good art.
It's good. That's very good art. Look
No,
at the
it's bad
detail.
art. It's
Put it on the
ugly.
table.
I'm like,
Taking off my sword, right?
I'm like standing in the way. I'm up like protecting it.
Yeah,
Like, what are
you
you
guys,
doing?
you guys are talking about this, and Talon, you just happen to notice there's like some other pieces of like dark wood or something there on the floor, and you manage to sort of slip it in a sack or slip the statue in a sack while you're talking, and you say, okay, and you can pick up these pieces of wood, put them in another sack, and take them over and put them on the table and say, okay, have at it. So with the bonus I gave him, you rolled in negative numbers as a success for
There you go.
basically getting the statue out without anybody seeing what you were doing. So it was like a super success.
Calm down about the mirror too.
Well, yeah, the mirror it just radiates as magical. It doesn't radiate as any. There's like no good or evil that you can tell about the mirror. But then when you rewind or turn the rod the other way, everything folds back up.
Mirror on the dresser.
Yeah, you guys would have to take it somewhere and get it appraised and figure out or spend the time to identify it.
That's best at the Moat House. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to say that it sounded like you were going to get a couple of the gnolls to help you. So if you get all of this stuff that's listed under treasure, that takes you maybe 90 minutes to get that stuff all moved out of this area and back up to the cabin, and you start to put it there. Now, going back and looking back at the list under the loot, is there anything under the items of loot that you would be interested in trying to carry?
The 5 books of spells.
That's
Okay.
part of treasure, I believe.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I was still of the shiny.
We do. I think most of the stuff, because they were interested in the furniture and stuff, we want
And
Or-
armory rot.
The 16 stuffed and mummified small animals. I don't think that's necessary.
Those can probably go on the on the burn pile, or
Unless
bury
they're-
the stupid little things.
Unless they're cats, and then I might take one and pet it.
No, they are all kinds of animals that you associate with or that most of the party, not the halfling from Dark Sun, but most of the party would associate with evil wizards. So like lizards and rats and things of that nature. Stuff that might be animals that might be kind of familiars for evil wizards. Normally good wizards, they might have things like birds or cats or
Yeah, cats.
maybe
see?
small dogs or something like that as a familiar. But these other things would have kind of creepy crawly.
We go back to town. I'm gonna get a kitten and name it Min.
Aw. I feel so honored.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna take some of the furniture. How many furniture pieces are you guys gonna try to take with you?
I guess
Well,
the question is how much space does all of the loot, the stuff that we definitely want to make sure goes first, takes, and then the furniture can always wait.
Yeah, you probably have about since most of that stuff is actually small, since most of the actual treasure stuff is kind of small or can be piled on top of each other, you probably have filled up about half of the wagon now, to the point where you don't feel like you can put any more in the wagon. So it's got room for maybe 2 or 3 pieces of
I didn't think we had a wagon, or is this
furniture.
after we go back and get a wagon?
No,
we
you
have
have a wagon that's at the cabin, at the safe house.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
We also definitely want the assorted mundane weapons that was in the thieves, the assassin, whatever she was.
Oh, and the
Yes, that's true. All right. So about half an hour after you go back down to start dealing with the items under the loot category, Odom will come running down, and he will say, "There are humans approaching the cabin. We have noticed them on the road, approaching from the woods. You should probably come."
Oh. Ugh.
Yay!
Definitely.
Well, let's go.
All right. So I am going to bring Quint and Burrell to this room, and I am going to copy all of these tokens, and I'm going to go over to this area here, and the actual cabin is a little bit to the south of this map. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this. I'm going to say this is 35, and then I'm going to give this a kind of a dark background Okay. So, you guys are kind of back down here. There's a screen of some trees, and with a couple of the knolls to point out to you, you see coming along a path from the north. And this is a path that leads back up to the main road. You see 4 people on foot, 4 humans on foot, and they are approaching, and they're kind of, looking around and being a little bit careful in how they're approaching, but they're not being terribly stealthy. It's like they're walking like they're looking for tracks or looking for signs of things, but they're not going out of their way to remain hidden.
Were we supposed to be on a different map?
Oh, yes, you were. And I moved your tokens, but I didn't move the ribbon. Okay. So, this is the map that you are on. We're going to do this. And you guys are kind of down at the bottom of the map, but if you look up towards the top of the map, you can see 4 humanoid figures up there.
Ah.
That appear to be coming in. They're coming in along that path. And based on your guys' reading of the overland maps and everything, you suspect that path leads out to the road that heads to Nulb.
Nulb.
Say we set for ambush?
I agree. Men, you should go invisible and be ready to cast like web or something.
And we've had chance to rest since our last encounter, right? Or no?
No, you have not. This is now. Yeah, this is a few hours after the fight in the dungeon.
I can play
this is later that same day. And then you also have 7, well, probably 5, unless you want to go have somebody run get them from the tower. You have 5 gnolls at your disposal that you can call into service if you feel the need to do so.
Okay.
I would say set them on a trek to surround.
Okay.
We'll set up ambush for them down here, and then let the gnolls go back and around. And if there's an encounter, then we have the either escape route or the attack from behind. We'll have the advantage.
Okay, so we're going to do this, and then we will whoops. Okay, so you have here with you where this is Greyhawk. And then this is Greyhawk Odom.
Since I'm not good at hiding, I could play a diversion and just stand in the open here.
Sure.
Okay.
I will slip on the ring and go invisible.
And just walk a little bit towards them very slowly. So they don't
Okay.
attack an ambush.
So you are currently. I'm just going to put that little eye thing on you, man. You
Yep.
are invisible.
Talon's using his cloak,
Okay.
so he's got the hood up and he's kind of standing up in the trees. Very steady.
I would think to make it not look too obvious, I would say the Merc leader would be with Arcturus.
Cool.
Okay. So Burrell will be over here with Arcturus.
Yeah. That way you can also keep an eye on him, Arcturus, because I don't really fully trust this guy just yet.
I'll believe you.
All right. And
I'm also holding my hand at my sword.
okay. And then, oops. One more name here. One more name on the map. There we go. All right. So where did you want the gnolls to go? You wanted them to go around.
Yeah, just take a path
Yeah, that way they could kind of follow
back
that
around.
path around and come from behind.
Okay. I want everybody except for Arcturus to make a. I think there's a default like
Dexterity or something, or
yeah. Go ahead and
If you
make a dexterity check, and because it's outside and it's daytime, I'm going to give you a -3 to this. Now, if you have an item like the cloak that gives you either like a bonus, or if your class gives you a bonus, then don't worry about that. If you
What
have
about
like an actual
the-
stealth roll, invisibility, you're
Yeah.
invisible unless you start knocking stuff over or running into trees or doing stuff like that.
Is this
Crunching
considered
on.
heavy growth?
It's light forest, so there are trees and there's underbrush. Yeah, you can. It would be heavy growth. Yeah.
Okay, well, it says, according to the Cloak of Elvenkind, I'm 100% invisible, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Once you start actually moving around and everything, then things will come into play. I'm putting some of these guys
I
out
also
here.
want to, when we start with this, I want to talk loudly to Burrell. Just so that I can draw more attention to myself
Okay.
from the
All
enemy.
right. And then I am going to make some checks for these guys.
Should I make a dexterity check, or I have move silently or hide in shadows? I could do either of those. If that would be more
Hide in shadows. Hide in shadows would be, because they're far enough away that move silently is not probably going to be a big deal because it's outdoors and there's a bunch of stuff. But hide in shadows would be more appropriate for this. Come on. So there's the gnoll. There's no leader. All right. So okay. Yeah. Archimedes, you think you're probably quiet as a church mouse. Quint, every time you think you find a shadow,
Over here.
There, you realize that
Over here.
you realize that you're trying to hide inside your own shadow. So let me.
This
let
is
me go
embarrassing
make-
being outside in the ranger and can't find a place to hide.
I'm hiding here. Quint, get away. Get away.
I got my head in the sand like an ostrich. They can't see me.
Okay. Yeah. These guys they kind of stop and then they make some moves like they're trying to find some cover. So you're not sure if they saw you, but they saw something that spooked them. And so they make some moves, and let me make some rolls for them. That's not the right.
I want to start
go.
slowly along the road.
Okay. They, if it's any comfort, Quint, they do a very bad job of hiding. They pick hiding places, but you can clearly see them.
Okay.
Where they're just there, and now they're looking in your direction, like, and they're kind of scanning from side to side. They're not looking right at Quint. They keep looking, but they, some of you see that they're looking in the direction of some of the gnolls. All right, so Arcturus, you're up.
I walk along the road, talking loudly to my friend Burrell.
Okay.
Still just wanna get the enemy to attack me.
Okay. They look, and as you get a little bit closer, they will begin to withdraw a little bit.
I do my best not to look at them directly.
Okay.
As I walk along the road.
Party members, it seems like the way their heads are bobbing and the way they kind of are pointing, they're thinking that they are outnumbered. And so they're probably going to try to avoid having a direct confrontation if they can help it. At the same time, they clearly are people that look like they know where they are going. So the question then becomes, do you guys want to try to force a fight to see if you can capture any of them, or
But we don't know if
do
they
you want
are
to just let them go?
evil people or just travelers on the road.
Do you have the ability to tell whether people are evil or not?
Nope. I'm just saying
okay.
we don't know
Okay.
if they are.
Okay. Then yes, you're correct. You don't know.
So they could be every average day Joes.
How far are they away from me?
From you, Arcturus. From you, they are. Let me see. The closest one is about 70 feet. Is the closest one.
Just short.
Okay.
Well, I cannot know if they're good or evil at this distance.
Oh, just for argument's sake, how close do you have to be to?
60 feet.
Okay. Well, you can move closer to them.
I am trying to move along the road without giving them a clue that I know that they're there.
Okay.
Just want
So,
to be ignorant of them. And try to find out if they're good or not.
okay. Then let me see.
Are you a
You
good
would
witch
have.
or a bad witch?
You would have to get. You would have to get about to here. Yeah. Do that. Okay. Yeah, they're crouching and they are watching. And
Brothers, of course, coming with me, my best friend.
yeah. He is walking along and he is looking up that way. Okay, you can see two of them. Or you are in range now for two of them. And is this just kind of an automatic thing, or do you have to focus on it or concentrate on it, or
I have on the spot, on the direction I want to look.
okay. So you can start talking to Burrell about one of these trees, and just sort of look like you're closely examining this tree, but kind of looking in this direction.
Did you know that from this tree we can make a bench?
Okay.
What I say to Burrell.
And what you notice is that out of the two that are close enough for you to tell, this guy here detects as evil. This guy here does not detect as evil. So you know at least one of them detects as evil, but not all of them.
Well, for me, they're all evil. If you're
Okay.
an evil person, you're evil also.
Okay. So you gonna give a signal for an attack or something like that?
No, I still try to get a little bit closer.
Okay.
But as soon as I just want to say, as soon as they try to run away from me, I want to draw my sword and run at them.
Okay. As you guys look around, the gnolls, they're kind of limbering up their bows. And they're kind of looking over at Arcturus, and they're looking over at those guys, and it seems like they're sort of ready with some ranged attacks. And if they have to shoot them through the trees, they'll get a slight penalty on their attack rolls, but they would still get a chance to potentially hit them.
Just I'm gonna draw my sword and shield, not my big sword.
Okay.
What a fight.
All right. When are you going to draw your sword and shield?
The second that they try to move away again, I'm going to draw my sword and shield and try to run at them.
Okay. So go ahead and
Let's look how far I get before they run.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and move a little bit more. Move your. Okay. Yeah, you get about there, and they start to look like they're about. And as soon as you pull out your weapon,
I scream and take a run at them.
Okay, the gnolls are also going to get ready. So you guys see Arcturus pull a weapon. He cries out for an attack. The gnolls, they start to step out with their bows. So that means that everybody can go ahead and roll initiative. And I will roll initiative for these guys.
I just wanted them to attack me out of the black.
Okay.
No, they didn't want to.
Yeah. And say this is
what is happening with the world when evil characters don't even attack the good ones? But the good ones need to attack the evil ones.
Okay.
Roll initiative. Well, I had this one before.
I thought I had Did I? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so he will stand in for all of them, and then we will get the gnolls. Let's see what their attack roll or what their initiative roll is. They roll that, and then the gnoll leader. We'll see what his initiative roll is. All right, so he gets that. All right, so let's put this in ascending order. All right, the first thing that happens is that your gnoll leader, he steps out with his longbow, and he is going to make an attack. And he is going to just try to attack the closest guy here. And I'm going to say that he steps out here to get a clean shot, but he's going to take a -2 because that guy is behind some trees. So, no leader, Thaco, -2. Oh, he hits AC 0. Even with the -2. And so
Good
the
shot.
damage,
Good shot, old boy.
7 points of damage. This guy just falls over dead.
Bonk.
And let's see, how many shots? You get 2 shots, right? With a
Yes, with the bow.
Yeah.
with a bow. So he'll make another shot with -2. And he misses the next guy. All right. So then these guys, they break and they try to run. And as soon as this guy here starts to run, Burrell is looking over there, sees him stand up, and as he turns, he says to Arcturus, he says, "Hey, I think I know that guy." And he says, Alcott, what are you doing?" And the guy kind of hesitates a little bit and looks back, and he says, "Captain Burrell?" He says, "Yeah, what are you doing?" And then this guy over here, he just gives a dirty look at that guy, and he starts trying to run. And this guy starts trying to run. But they both give a dirty look to this guy here. And for the moment, Alcott seems to stop and look back at your mercenary commander with a questioning look. Errol, go ahead.
I want to tell Burrell, tell him to help us imprison the two, not imprison, capture the other two, if you know him.
And Bureau will nod and he'll say, "Get those guys and capture them." And Alcott says, "Oh, all right." But that's kind of used up his whole turn, so he doesn't have a chance. But next round, he will.
But they have great closer to them now.
I'm gonna yell and Noel that, hey, go get those two guys that are rabbiting.
Yeah.
I want the line. I'm gonna yell.
And Errol will run up
but
here.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, Errol will run up here, and he is going to make a shot with his bow. AC 16. He'll take another shot with his bow. AC 2. And he also deals 7 damage. So now Arcturus, the guy that detected his evil, he gets cut down before before he can go. This other Knoll will run up, and then he will take a shot, and that's going to be once again with the -2. 9, and then another shot -2, 12. Okay, that's gonna miss. Then these last two guys, they will run up over here, and they'll try to shoot at this guy. And again, they all have -2, so it's going to be 4 attacks. -2. Oh, that's a hit. 4 damage. Okay. So that guy sprouts an arrow. And he is bloodied. And then a second shot on the same guy, -2, 16, and then 2 more shots on that guy, -2, and then -2. Okay, misses, but that guy is hobbled, and he is moving at half movement because he got shot in the leg, and one of his legs isn't quite working right. Min.
Yeah.
You are invisible. I don't know if you have any spells available to you.
I do not.
Okay. I don't know how hurt Min is. Is Min going to do anything or just kind of watch the rest of the battle?
I think I'm going to just watch for the moment. I've got my javelin out, but I'm just going to wait to see, always never know when you could use backup.
Yeah.
And I will actually move.
Okay.
Try. Let's see. I will move.
Okay.
Out there.
All right. Nobody sees where you go to.
What do I do?
All right. Talon, you're up.
Okay. I'm basically just gonna move. But I'm gonna kind of stick to the trees.
Okay.
They're pretty distracted anyway. Just move up here.
Okay. All right. Archimedes. This here is the fellow that seems to know your mercenary leader. It seems to have responded to him.
Right.
This here is the guy that the Knolls shot and that is trying to hobble away.
Perfect. I'm just going to be moving up closer to them. I'm not going to be firing on them since everybody else is. But I will be try to get up as far as I can go.
Okay. All right. And Arcturus, you are up.
I'll try to get as far to him as I can. I don't know how far I can get.
Yeah, it's there's a minute in the round, so and he's hurt, so you can catch up to where he is. The question is, do you want to attack him to finish him off, or do you want to attack him to try to knock him out?
If I catch up with him, I'm going to use my shield to knock him out.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you can move right up to him.
And I'll try to get him down with my shield.
Okay. So if you have your shield set up as a weapon that you can attack with, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, if you don't, make an attack with your normal melee weapon and just give yourself like a -1 on the attack roll.
-1.
Because you're used to using your shield all the time to block, but using it to attack somebody's a little bit different.
-1 there. -1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you swing and you don't connect
I'm still at him.
with that. All right. So, Quint, you're up.
Quint will run around over to here and just, Arcturus is there with the other guy, so he's just gonna have his bow and arrow ready.
You have a clear line of sight to him, so Arcturus is not in the way. If you want to try to finish him off, you could.
Yeah, maybe I can redeem myself a little bit with that.
Okay. Do you want to use like a blunted arrow or a lethal arrow?
I don't really have any blunted arrows, so it would.
Okay. So, all right.
Regular. Did you measure that off? How far it was? I thought it was 60.
Yeah, you are just inside of 60 feet.
Okay, so like.
Yeah.
It'll still be regular. And it was a -2 for the brush.
Yeah, because he's on the other side of a tree. Armor class 3, that'll hit. So go ahead and roll some damage. Okay, how does your arrow kill this guy?
It streaks by Arcturus and catches the guy in the throat.
Okay, Arcturus, you miss the guy with your shield, but he looks at you kind of wide-eyed, and before he can do anything, one of Quint's arrows just sprouts out of his throat, and he raises a hand up, but he's dead before he hits the ground.
Seeing that this one is also dead, I'm going to look if one of the other both survived or if all are dead.
This guy is the only guy that is surviving now, and he just sort of puts his hands up and he says, Captain Burrell, and Burrell says, all right, it's okay. I know Alcott. I think we can trust him. At least I hope we can trust him long enough to question him, find out what's going on. Arcturus, as you look at Rodmond here and Tybalt here, they both have in pouches, they have the cloaks that have the evil elemental eye on them. If you look at Melton over here, he seems to have a lot of the gear similar to the mercenaries that Burrell was with when you met them. So it looks like this guy and this guy are probably somehow connected with the
The mercenary.
yeah, the other two are mercenaries, maybe.
Maybe. I also didn't feel any evil from the one to the side.
Yeah, you didn't feel evil, but they were, in league with people that were evil. So
Yes.
like you say, yeah. All right, so combat is over, unless you guys want to attack this Alcott, or do we want to say that combat is over for the moment?
I
For the
put my
moment.
sword away.
Yeah, as long as he believes he's under arrest.
Yeah, he's dropped his weapon, so and Burrell will come over and say, Alcott, what the devil are you doing here? And Alcott will say, Oh, Captain, after the last job, Melton and I, we headed over to Nulb. There's a tavern house over there where they have some ladies, that'll be your friend, and we had some gold that we wanted to spend, and so we kind of spent more time than we thought we were going to in Nulb. And then yesterday, weird thing happened yesterday. A bunch of people started running out of the tavern because these gigantic ravens flew into the city, and they were just flying in the air and circling and making an awful racket. And we all looked around wondering if it was an attack, but they never attacked. And somebody warned us not to try to shoot them, because it would be bad luck if we did. So we just went back inside, and then about an hour later, this guy I had met, Rodman, and he points to this corpse over here. He says, Rodman came to me at the tavern, and he said that he had a job in the morning, and it would pay. It was a scouting job. He thought it would take maybe a couple of days. He was looking for 2 men to go with him and another guy, and they were just going to go and take a look at a place that was out in the woods. He didn't explain exactly what the job was going to be. He told us to bring our weapons, and they were armed, but he didn't say if we were attacking anything or if they planned to steal anything. He just said we were scouting. So I figured maybe they were friends of the property owners just coming out to take a look and see if everything was okay. We thought it was easy money. And Burrell says, yeah, you guys chose poorly, and unfortunately, Melton was the last bad choice he made. But things might work out for you, Alcott. If you tell my friends here everything you know about Nulb and the people you met there and where you were, you might get a pay raise. They are an adventuring company, and they pay well. he said, I thought I saw gnolls. Oh, yeah. They have gnolls. Gnolls are working with us. He's like, really? It's like, yeah. We all get paid well. And we just got a huge payday. But whether you live to see any of that or not depends on how well you answer my friend's questions. I'm just a hired hand. I don't have any sway here. It's up to them what happens to you. But they've treated me well. They've treated the rest of my men well. I think if you prove yourself to be at least trustworthy, you'll stand to make some gold. So he brings him over here. He says, Arcturus, this is a man I've worked with before. His name is Alcott.
Hello.
And he's been on a couple of different campaigns with me. Fought in a couple of different mercenary companies for, he rattles off a couple of names of some lords that are off near Furindy. Trying to fight against some orcs that were bothering some of the farms around his lands. So Alcott's done a little bit of work with me. He is pretty handy with his blade.
So you would say that you trust this guy?
I have trusted him before. He's fought at my side against orcs, and
I try to detect evil intent.
Okay.
Alcott.
Alcott doesn't have any evil intent at this point. He, kind of like Burrell, he seems to be kind of a soldier for hire.
Fine with me.
Yeah.
So, Alcott, you had nothing to do with these cultists?
Wait,
Show him the.
I drag out the cloak of one of them.
Yeah.
Cultists? No, I had no idea they were cultists. You mean these guys had that cloak? I've never seen that cloak.
Definitely not out of my pocket.
No.
Or do you want to say I am a cultist?
Oh, no. I'm not. No, sir. No, sir.
He looks like he's got a lot of meat on his bones. He could feed me and the gnolls.
And as you guys are talking, some of the gnolls come around. And the rest of you guys, if you want to be in on this conversation, you can move up as well.
Sure, the surrounding of him and help make his decisions.
Yeah,
forthright and true.
And he's looking. He looks around at gnolls, and he looks over at Talon, and he looks back at Burrell. He says, "What's up with this guy?" And Burrell says, "Oh yeah, he's got some special dietary needs." And he looks at you and he says, "Talon, there's 3 corpses. No need to make a 4th until and unless he proves false."
I'm just thinking he's meat on the hoof, that's all.
They both are until they really this guy's starting to, so if this guy is forthright and everything. Now, do we know the names of who came to these guys, or
yes,
the face or description?
Yeah, Rodmond and Thibaut came to Alcott and Melton, recruited them to come out on this scouting sortie. And that
I'm
was...
sure they have a boss, so you'd know anything about crows, or where the crows went to, or were they?
Yeah, okay, so let's see. Let me get you to Nulb. Actually, this is going to be a good time for us to take our break. So let's go ahead and take our break. And then when we come back, you'll hear a little bit about the places in Nulb that this guy knows about. And some of the people that are there and what he does know about them. Hey, viewers, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this evening. We're going to put the music back up. We are on Sirenscape, and we'll have the Friendly Tavern music set up during the break. And I'm going to put the timer on, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Players, you guys can either spend some time here during the break on this channel, or if you want to chat off of the stream, you can move to the off-stream chat voice channel. So I'm going to mute myself, and I'll be back in a few. All right, viewers. Once again, our sound bed, sound effects, music for the session is provided by Sirenscape. It's one of my favorite desktop apps when it comes to RPGs. They have all kinds of great environmental and incidental music. Sounds for any kind of conditions, whether you're in a dungeon or in a tavern or in a battle or any place in between. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do classic. It's a forest. All right, so we're now in the forest landscape. You guys are near the cottage, and actually, you guys can either talk here out in the field, or you can talk over in the cottage. Let me just make sure everybody gets back into the channel. Okay. All right. All right. So
I'm back.
Yep. All right.
Hello.
So, Marcel, you were in the middle of questioning this person, Alcott. So, what did you want him to tell you about
Alcott.
Nulb?
What was your mission in the woods? What did they want from you to do?
They said there was some property out here. We needed to go and take a look at it and see if everything was okay here. I thought it was kind of weird that was the day after the Ravens came, but they really didn't say anything more than that. They just said we should bring our swords and our crossbows. So we did.
Was it just
And those are the only two who came to us. So they were people that we met at the Boatman's Tavern. The Boatman's Tavern is a place that is run by a fella named Skull. And
Cool?
Skull, yeah. I'm going to put some things in here for... I think we need an NPC. Yeah, we need an NPC channel. So, NPC locations. All right, so Skull, proprietor of the Boatman's Tavern in Nulb. All right. And then just for the benefit of everybody here. So, Skull is the proprietor over there. And, you know, he's got a few, you know, there's a few women that work there. There's a few rooms upstairs. But you have to go through Lodris. She is, I think she and Skull are an item, but Lodris is kind of the one you have to talk to anytime you want to make some time with some of the girls that work there. So that's mainly who we talk to. But I know that these two fellas, and he indicates the two guys that had the cloaks, they spent quite a bit of time at the Boatman's Tavern. They also spent a bit of time over at a place called the Waterside Hostel. I think that's where the rooms where they lived were over there. Waterside Hostel is a place that is run by a fellow named Dick Wrench. Of
There you go.
Waterside Hostel in Nulb. Yep. So, and I'll put that in the NPC. And when we were drinking yesterday, after we saw the ravens came and they circled overhead for, I don't know, maybe an hour. And then they weren't around anymore, but later on in the evening, I overheard a bit of a conversation. The places where we were, it's not the kind of place where you go and listen in on what other people are saying, because that can get you into trouble. But I overheard somebody saying something about Dick Wrench had actually, somebody was saying that he thought Dick Wrench had actually talked to one of the ravens. So I thought that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. But that's really about all I know.
Did you ever see those people with somebody else?
No. The way I got to know these guys, the first day that Melton and I were in Nulb, we were over at the hostel, and that's where we met Rodman. And Rodman liked to play dice, and I like to play dice too. And so we were in a friendly dice game with some other people, and I had mentioned that it would be really nice to find some girls, and he's the one that told me about that other place. That told me about the Boatman's Tavern, and said that there was a couple of girls over there, and I should go talk to Lodris if I wanted to spend some time with some of those girls. And he wasn't wrong about that. So I would kind of play dice with Rodman almost every day after that. And I saw him with Tybalt, and there were a few other people that they hung around with, but I never got to really know who those people were or what their names were.
But would you be able to identify those people?
Oh, sure. I could point some of those people. Well, I could probably point some of those people out. Yeah. And he looks over at Burrell, and Burrell says, "Yeah, we might have to go in there, but Alcott, what would you estimate the strength of the friends of this Tybalt and Rodman might be?" And he says, there's at least 2 full pirate crews that operate on the river that goes by Nulb. And it seems like most of the time, at least one of those boats is in port. And I guess they maybe have 20 people in each crew. And those guys all seem to be very friendly with the folks over at the Waterside Hostel. So I imagine those are all friends of Dick Wrench. I've not seen them deal in anything that I know was stolen goods, but I would imagine that Dick Wrench's operation includes probably a front for fencing some of the stuff that comes in from those pirates. If I had my guess. And I don't know about the Waterside Hostel. Every couple of days, some interesting stuff shows up there. It's mostly kind of knickknacks. Sometimes it's furniture from the big city that you kind of wonder, well, how did that get out here to a little backwater place like Nulb? So I don't know. Skull may be part of that as well. I didn't really get to know the owners of the places that well.
Any evil intent while he was talking from him?
No. He's trying to give you as much information as he can.
Well, I'm satisfied. If anyone else has something to ask, I asking around. I point to the other guys.
Seems to be forthright for me. Yeah.
So it seems like you seem like an okay guy.
Well, Captain Burrell and I, when we were working together, we'd always just go work for whoever would pay us. That's kind of the way we've always operated. I was trained as a soldier growing up, and in some of the wars, and when the big wars ended, there's always some lord that has problems with either with another lord or with goblins or with orcs or something like that, and they always need people to go and help deal with that. And every now and then you run across something nice that you can sell and make a few gold here or there. And
I can completely agree that, yes.
So, yeah, that's kind of...
Like an honest working man. I see no reason to kill you or get rid of you.
Oh, well, that's a relief. And then he looks at Burrell and he says, do they treat everybody new this way? And Captain Burrell says, pretty much. But like I said, Elcott, they pay well. And
I do hope you believe in the one true God.
Oh God, here we go.
I have heard from many clerics of, and he looks at your holy symbol.
Do I know?
And he's very uncertain. And he says, mainly I've heard and been healed by clerics of St. Cuthbert. But
my mood darkened significantly.
What's there in Nulb, though? I'll ask him what's there in Nulb. What's the prominent order that's there, if any?
There's no temples in Nulb. There's
no temples in Nulb. All right.
Not even a shrine there in Nulb.
Sounds like Nulb's a good place to be.
It's like a fair city. Yeah.
Well, that's just sad. And I turn around and just start going away. I don't care.
As he turns around and walks away, I kind of... where is he? Where are you?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I'll, since I'm still invisible, I'll kind of stick my foot out a little bit in your pathway.
Okay. Both of you make a dexterity check. And that's a dexterity check to see, Min, if you can get your foot in the right position, and Arcturus to see if you...
Shit.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You go to try to do that, and you sort of stub your toe on a root, and you don't get it in his way. Yeah, Arcturus, there's nothing in your way. You just walk on by. So, because she failed her roll to even get her foot in your way.
Well, what can I say to that? I don't know anything happened, so I can say nothing.
Yeah.
Or do I hear something? No.
Yeah, you'll hear her go,
Aha! And I pull my sword and cut in a direction. No.
better not!
Woo! Touchy,
That's
touchy. That sounds like evil intent to me.
Yep, there was some evil intent to let a paladin fall on his nose. I smell heresy.
All right. So let me take a look at something over here.
How did she get the ring of invisibility?
What did you say?
Nothing. Which?
I love that.
All right.
Nothing.
As you guys make your way back to the back toward the cabin. So, as the gnolls will begin to kind of head this way.
We forgot to discuss payment with the guy.
Yeah, and
We let him live.
Exactly.
oh yeah, well, I guess they will.
I will turn around before going away.
Okay.
Oh yes, we still need to discuss what happens with you now.
Well, you said you weren't going to kill me, so that's a good start.
Yeah, it can go only go up from there.
The captain said you guys pay fair wages, but I don't know what kind of wages do you guys normally offer?
Can I question what we pay the other guys? I actually forgot. I wasn't a treasurer.
I think Archimedes has mainly been the.
Well, you can discuss it with Archimedes over there.
It's like, oh, okay, great.
I'll pay him with the loot that we get from these 3 bodies for the first part of it.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay, so the loot from these 3 bodies.
So once I know what I have there, then he'll get maybe a trinket or two.
Okay, so that's.
I'm just trying to look away from all those people that do wrong.
3 times 3.
Better not look
You
in
can-
the mirror.
You have a total
that's
there. You have a total there of 49 silver pieces from the other 3 fallen bandits / spies.
Two silver pieces.
So. Okay. All right. So how much would you offer him from that.
See, what is it? Equivalent to a gold.
Okay.
Right.
I think that's 10 silver in this.
Okay.
I believe so.
In this edition of the game. Money and equipment.
10 silver to 1 gold, I think. It's 100 copper, 10 silver.
10 silver, 10 silver to... Yeah. Silver pieces. Okay, a silver piece, 10 to a gold. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so you give him 10 silver, and he's like, "Oh wow, okay, just for
the information.
answering, just for the information, okay."
You will be under the orders of what's his name?
Burrell.
Burrell, and Burrell is under your responsibility. Any ill will from him falls onto your head also.
And he says, "Yes, sir. Understood." And he looks at Alcott. He says, "All right, you know the drill. They pay me, I pay you. You screw up, I'm coming after you." And he's like, "Yes, sir, Captain. Understood." And he gives not quite a military salute, but just clearly he's like a guy that's used to following orders.
Good.
So he'll sort of fall in. Do you guys follow the Knolls back over towards the cottage? Okay.
I've taken the ring of invisibility off by now.
All right. So we'll go ahead and remove that little thing there. Actually, it's not an item you have to put on and take off.
Oh.
Okay. The way it works in this edition of the game, and you guys are gonna see how they've nerfed magic items over the years.
Oh,
but
it's right now.
Yes, in this edition of the game, let me find where it is, and I'll paste it in to you. Ring of Invisibility. Where is the ring?
Christ's sake, it doesn't have a limit?
Correct.
That's a legendary item. Christ's sake.
Okay. The wearer of this ring of invisibility is able to become invisible at will instantly. Non-invisible state is exactly the same as the wizard invisibility spell, except 10% of these rings have inaudibility as well, making the wearer absolutely silent. The wearer wishes to speak, he breaks all silence features in order to do so. This is not one of the 10% rings. It just makes you invisible. And just like the wizard spell invisibility, if you attack, if you cast a spell, that will break the invisibility. But as soon as you finish attacking or finish casting a spell, you can go back invisible at will.
Right.
And there is no limit to how many times you can do that per day.
Why did the wizard get the ring?
So,
Why did the what?
The witch!
Because the wizard needs protection.
Would you rather I hit the ring?
I would rather anyone have the ring.
Was it also that you got the bracers? Who also got the bracers?
We didn't decide on the bracers. There was some. I think the bracers were going to either you or Quint. One of the two.
Oh, okay. And since Quint's not saying anything, then I'll take it.
Well, what a nice guy!
Wow.
Wow. I see.
How that is.
Who got
Oh,
the
there
leather
it is.
armor?
Is that him?
I'm here. I'm just, keeping guard over here, making sure we don't get snuck up on while you guys are interrogating everybody.
I'm about to grill myself a witch. An invisible witch at that.
Man, there's no witches here. There's just...
there was also 3 barbed javelins in there too, so I didn't know if...
Yeah, those were mundane weapons, but I put them in the cart.
You want to say...
So, well, I was going to say she could have those too, so she could...
Yeah, she does use javelins.
Yeah. And I don't know about a spear. There was a spear there too. I didn't know if because it's like an axe. I don't know if you're able to use it or not.
I'll just stick with the
javelins. Okay. The bracers, and I didn't take a look at some of the other stuff. We're all heading back to the cabin, right?
Hey, when we get to the cabin, I need to spend a little time in the sun.
What are you, a plant?
Yeah.
Hey,
are you a witch also?
Everybody needs sunshine and water and food.
He's the cannabis of our group.
Well, let me see. I eat meat. Wouldn't that be more of a Venus flytrap?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here trying to talk, and I was muted because... Sorry. Okay. Quint.
Yes.
Okay. As you guys are about ready to start heading over there, a little flicker of movement catches your eye, and a little woodland person with gossamer wings, about 2 feet tall, appears right near you. Appears right here and says, "Oh, hello, wood brother."
And I will greet them properly.
I wasn't sure if your Nulb allies had noticed my signal, but apparently they did. I saw those 4 coming, and I knocked over something in front of the cabin to get their attention. Because I knew that if I didn't, they would come all the way up to the cabin, and the Nulbs probably wouldn't notice them.
Well, thank you for your help.
Yes, those are. Well, at least 2 of them I know were bad people from Nulb.
Do you visit Nulb, or?
Oh yes, my master lives in Nulb.
And who would your master be?
Well, let's just say he's the blacksmith.
Okay.
Well,
thank him on our behalf for your help.
Yeah.
As long as that won't get you in any trouble.
Oh, no. He told me to come out here because he noticed the ravens coming yesterday too. My master has some friends in another village called Hommlet.
That's where we came from.
Oh, you came from Hommlet. Do you know a warrior named Lord Rufus?
We do. He tasked us with checking out some ruins in the forest.
Oh, okay. Well then I'll tell the blacksmith that you are friends of Lord Rufus, and you tell Lord Rufus that you met Argador.
Argador. Okay.
And that's me. I'm Argador, and I guess it's Argador. I'm Argador, and I'm a friend of the smith in Nulb, and he'll know who that is.
All right. Well, Argador, thank you. Are there others with you, or are you by yourself?
Oh, I'm by myself. I can stay invisible, except when I don't want to be. So
you'll have to teach me that trick sometime.
Well, unless you have some Fey blood, I'm not sure that I can teach you.
Well, never know.
Yeah, that's kind of just something that my people are born being able to do.
All right. Well, thanks again for your help, and take care. And we will be into Nulb, I think sometime in the near future. But when we're there, I'll make sure and stop into the blacksmith.
Okay, I will. When you talk to Lord Rufus, he may be able to tell you more about my master, but I just don't want to say anything more than that right now.
No, that's fine. We appreciate your help.
Okay. All right. Well, good job taking care of those guys. But if I know anything about the people that my master keeps an eye on, when these guys fail to come back, they'll probably eventually send more, and they'll probably send a lot more.
Well, that's to be expected. So we will figure that out.
Okay. All right. Well, good job, y'all.
Yeah.
And then he will go invisible, and then you can just hear the little hint, Quint. You can hear the little hint of wings flying off into the distance. Sounds like it's flying back up towards the direction of Nulb.
Come back, magic man.
All right. I will, if people weren't listening in, I will fill them in on our conversation.
Okay.
So I don't know. Do we want to gather our stuff up? And I mean, originally we talked about heading back to the Moat house in Hommlet. Is that still what we want to do?
Well, we need to get the treasures away.
We also need to hire a cleric.
Also that.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, there's the temple of Saint Cuthbert there in Hommlet.
What?
You can probably find somebody there, or they would know of somebody that might be available as a retainer, a cleric retainer, or henchman, if you will. All right.
Maybe we can find a cleric of St. Cuthbert.
Yep.
You just like
All right.
poking his buttons, don't you?
All right, so there's a. Yeah, this is going to be. There's. Are you guys headed back to the Moat house first, or are you headed to?
Yeah, no, we go to the Moat house to drop off all the stuff and everything else, right?
Yeah, we're going to get the stuff, and then we're going to go to the Moat house, drop everything off, get people situated, and then go into town.
Okay. All right. So it takes you maybe another half hour after the battle and everything to get the rest of the stuff you want to take, or to fill up the rest of your wagon. So
Right.
I'm gonna say that.
And using the horses too, right? You could use
You could use the horses too. Any furniture would have to go in the wagon. Smaller stuff could be put into sacks and laden on the horses. Now there are 6 horses. Are you going to try to lead all of them back?
I would think so.
Okay, all right. And so 1 or 2 of them, maybe you can put some of the feed sacks on them.
Right.
And then this means there's plenty of horses for everybody to ride. And you're still limited on your speed by the cart. And even though the cart is more or less full now, the speed is going to be about the same. So
yeah, no, I would think we would use the horses as a packed item this time, and then be able to ride them back and forth. Yeah, the next time. Yeah.
So you can. It's kind of mid-afternoon. So do you want to make a start this afternoon on the way back and make a camp, or do you want to spend the night here at the cabin and then get a start in the next morning?
I vote for the next morning because, better to sleep with a roof over your head.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
Okay. All right.
I am going to go. Talon is going to go lay out in the sun for a little bit.
Sure.
Min will probably join him. It's sun. It's comfy.
All right.
Oh, well. He lays out in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at them and sharpen my sword.
Okay. All right. So now
And polish my armor, of course.
everybody this evening will get 1 hit point back for a night's rest. And the gnolls will keep a lookout at the cabin. So they report nothing amiss overnight. So those of you that are down, I think. All right. So then you start back the next day, and let's see the second day, or the first full day of travel goes uneventfully. You don't find, or you don't encounter anything, and you get to a place, you make your camp, set your watches. Does anybody watch with the gnolls overnight?
Quint will take a turn.
Quint will take a turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Quint, on your watch, you notice the horses. They whicker a little bit uncertainly during your watch that night.
Okay. Am I with a couple of gnolls then?
Yeah, you're with a couple of gnolls.
So I'll kind of stand outside the... Oh, no, we're not at the... I'll stand with the horses and kind of have the gnolls make kind of make a clockwise circuit around the camp, and the other counterclockwise, just to kind of see if they can scout out anything.
Okay. And you are a half elf, right?
Correct.
So you have dark vision out to, what is it, 60 feet in this?
I believe, yeah.
All right. So yeah, as you're over there by the horses, and when the gnolls start making their scouting, you hear some movement in the forest, and as you look, you see you catch more of, it's like an impression of the shape, and then the glowing eyes of what's probably a wolf. It's just sort of looking at the horses, and then as the gnolls come around, the head turns, and then you hear it moving off into the forest.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Apparently it was kind of, there's something that might be dinner. Oh no, it's guarded. There's people. All right, I'm getting out of here.
When we break camp in the morning, I'm going to leave some food behind for the wolf, as kind of maybe help it out, and maybe just keep it friendly to us so it doesn't get any ideas about the horses again.
Okay. All right. So,
what are you doing?
Some pieces of evil.
I'll find a rotten piece or something that, Callan doesn't want, and leave it behind.
Yeah, I'll cut off a leg for the wolf here. Stupid.
All right. So then the second day of travel, you guys don't encounter anything, and I think we said it's going to take because of the way you had to bring the cart around to this cabin and go an extra length along that road, you're going to get back to Hommlet on the third day, or not get back to the Moat house on the third day. So you have one more night of camping. Nothing during the second day. Anybody going to watch with the gnolls watch with the gnolls on the second night?
Mm-mm.
Quinn will watch with him again. I mean, he doesn't mind the.
Okay.
I can also.
Okay. Quint, as you are.
I watch also with them.
Oh, okay. Who's taking? Who is anybody taking first watch?
Quinn can take first watch. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll take second.
Okay. And then the gnolls will take the last watch. All right, sounds good. So, Quint, as you are, it's just kind of deepening dusk. So the sun has completely set over the horizon. And in the east, some stars are dappled in the sky, but over in the west, there's still just a slight little glow. And you see in the fading light, you see the figure of a wolf. And the wolf is sitting there. It's not standing. It's now sitting there, maybe just kind of at the edge of your range of infravision, or your dark vision.
Okay.
And you notice something next to it. A couple of small shapes next to it that are kind of moving around a little bit.
I'll I'll walk slowly and cautiously toward the wolf.
Okay,
as I get closer.
You get a few feet closer to it, and you realize that the shapes that are next to the wolf are they're probably like month or 2 month old wolf cubs. And it looks like there's probably 2 of them.
Puppies.
With this wolf.
I want one.
And the wolf is kind of
You'll have to fight me for it.
looking in your the wolf is looking in your direction and kind of does that thing where it sort of cocks its head looking at you.
I will I'll try and use my animal empathy, and I'll have some food in my hand and try and get closer to it. Maybe kind of come not directly toward it and have the pups like in between me and the mom, but kind of circle kind of to the side, and so the pups aren't in between us.
Yeah, as you get a little bit closer, the adult wolf just sort of gives a little growl, and you can tell it's not a growl in your direction; it's more a growl at the young, and they sort of scramble to the other side, so that it puts the adult wolf between you and the cubs, and it just watches you very intently. But it doesn't make any immediate moves. So go ahead and make your animal empathy check if you haven't done that already.
That's one where it's my...
okay. Let me go ahead and do that.
Save versus Rod. Yeah.
Okay, so Quint. Saving throw versus Rod. I'll pull your character sheet up here. And let's do saving throw versus Rod. Okay. You managed to get maybe about 10 or 15 feet closer to it, and you're focusing so much on the wolf that you don't notice the dry twig you step on, and it makes kind of a loud snap. And when it makes that loud snap, the wolf cubs just sort of start running away, and the mother just sort of, or the adult just sort of looks at them, and then it just begins loping off after the cubs.
Okay. I'm going to have to work with Talon on moving silently, I guess. Okay, well, when we leave again in the morning, I'll leave some more food behind for it.
Okay.
Keep working on building trust up.
Okay. All right. So make a note to yourself that the next time you do an animal empathy with the wolf with cubs, that you're going to get a +2 bonus.
Okay.
Or a plus 10% bonus, since that's a percentage thing, I think. No, it's a +2 bonus because it's a saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah, +2 bonus.
All
right. Nothing else happens that evening. And then, let me see, on the third day. Yep. Third day, about late morning, you roll up on the old Moat house. And you can see that there's some scaffolding that has been put up. And there's a couple of crews of people working. There's scaffolding up by one of the fallen sections of the wall, and a a lot of the tumbled down rocks in that area have all been cleared away, and some people are working on digging, like in foundation area, and it looks like they have one of the stonemasons kind of supervising, and some other people in each of the crews is working on that. Then the other scaffolding is over on one side of the building, and they appear to be pulling a bunch of the collapsed and broken stuff from what used to be the top floor, and just kind of clearing all of that stuff out. Probably looking to see what would need to be fixed in terms of replacing, something that would make a roof at this point for you guys over there. So there's a couple of crews working. Not a whole lot has been done at this point in the few days that you have been gone, but there's some progress. I guess in total, you guys have probably been gone about 6 days. All right. So you are here at the Moat House. Everybody add 2 more hit points to your total. If you are down any hit points, then you don't have any. Well, Min, you've got all these spell books, so let's take a look at you for a moment. You found a tiny key in a pouch that the wizard had, and by process of trial and error, you realize, the spell books which have locks on them, that key goes to those locks, so you can open them.
Gotcha.
And you can see what all he had in terms of his spells. What are you making efforts to try to learn out of those spell books?
Well, right now I can do level 1 and level 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Let me double check. So I think in this edition, you have a chance to learn a spell out of another caster's spell book, and then you can basically make one try at every new time you gain a level. So you can identify the spells that you want to try to learn and copy into your spell book. If you fail at successfully learning them, then you have to wait until you gain another level, and then you can come back and try again. I think that's the way it works. So let me just double check for the wizard class. Learning a spell. Okay. Yeah. Learning casting spells, teacher. Okay. Doesn't know. You can try to read and understand the instructions. Must roll percentile dice. Result is equal to or less than the percentage chance to learn a new spell. Okay. Yep, that's it. So, which that's tied to your intelligence. So, you are. I'm gonna task you with opening up that treasure sheet and then telling me which of those spells you're going to try to learn, and we're going to check on each one of them.
And how many do I get to choose?
I'm going to say that you can try one each time you rest for the night. So basically 1 per day. Now, when you get back to Hommlet, if you're doing nothing but sitting there and studying, it'll be more than 1. But you can't really study those while you're riding or traveling. You have to sit down and kind of get your little incense out and get your inks out and your
and I would basically be trying to transcribe these into my own spellbook, correct?
Yeah, that's essentially what you would be trying to do, to see if you could understand what is going on, and if you have that ability. So let's see. To go to your attributes. So intelligence. So you have a 70% chance to learn a spell.
Gotcha.
So what is the first spell you want to try to learn that's in that book?
To try to learn Detect Magic.
Detect Magic. Okay. Detect Magic. Okay. That one is beyond you. So the first day you're not able to learn Detect Magic out of that
See,
spell
I
book.
get a feeling that my entire thing is going to be like this. Nope, you fail. Nope, you fail.
Okay, what's the you have 2 this would be the 3rd night, so you got 2 more spells. What's the next one?
So many choices.
But just start going down the list.
I know. Charm Person.
Okay. All right, Charm Person. Hey, yeah, that one. So the 2nd night, you are successful at learning Charm Person.
Okay. And then the other one should be Message.
Message, okay. No.
See, that's just my luck.
So yeah, you rolled a 90 on a 70 for the Detect Magic, a 4 on a 70 for Charm Person, and an 84 on a 70 for Message. So it's
like I said, just my luck.
All right. So then you're here at the Moat House. So let's move you back over to the correct map at the Moat House. All right. So your workers are over here. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to my room.
Okay. I guess one of the main things to figure out is what, if anything, are you going to take from the cart and leave here at the Moat House, and what are you going to take on to...
to know if somebody already took the shield +2 from the treasure shard.
No, that would be yours.
Because I would very much like that.
You can have it.
I would say give us some time to look this stuff over. We're probably honestly going to unload it and then store it for the time being until we've decided what we want to keep, and then probably our best bet is just to, figure out from there after we've gotten the place put together and settled, and then whatever's left over, then we can get rid of.
Okay.
Because trying to decide right now, and also, Gally, do you want me to do an artwork picture of reconstructing this place without all the excess junk?
Yeah, you can if you want to. You can start working on that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And is this going to have an upper level or just one?
At the moment, they're just going to try to restore the first level.
Okay.
The building a second level, yeah, you would be able to contract for that, but right now they're just trying to repair the walls and get a roof so that it doesn't, you don't get water in there every time it rains.
Gotcha. Okie dokie.
We got the lower level.
Yeah,
That's
we got
two
the lower
levels.
level. You'll have to send me the map on the lower level.
Okay. Yeah, this is. Oh, you mean okay? So the lower level, the dungeon level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's what he was thinking of. All right. So I can send you maps for that. All right. So the red boxes that you see now on the screen or on the map, the red box over here, and then the red box up here. These are where the current scaffolds are and groups of workers. They don't have anybody doing any work as of yet on the towers or on this collapsed area here where the bandits were living. So this access here on the top seems to be where they are working on trying to get stuff off of the collapsed roof.
Gotcha.
And there are some people that are working on reinforcing some stuff up there.
As they're approaching, she kind of takes in a deep breath and smiles and goes, "Finally home. Yay!" And it's looking more like a home every day. Yay!
I wonder if anybody fed the moat monster or the well monster.
Mm.
Well, if we had some prisoners, we could have fed that beast. But somebody killed them.
Yeah.
I thought that was taxed by somebody already.
But even if we did have prisoners, you wouldn't let them get fed to the well monster. That would be too much like evil.
Well, the evil characters, I have no problem with feeding them to the monster. I'm not from a peaceful god.
Yeah, if they were cultists, I think that Arcturus has established that, yeah, he would have no problem feeding them too.
I have established I'm insane.
They call
Are
that.
you? Is that what they say?
It's only a matter of time until I'm not a paladin anymore. Nope, I will stay a paladin forever.
You could be an anti-paladin.
Right.
All right.
Oh, I will paladin.
So how long do you stay here before you head out to Hommlet? Stay here one night, unload some stuff, and then go to Hommlet. Because I think the place where you're going to be able to get everything identified, and definitely the place where you're going to have a better chance to find out what's going on with your iron box of unspeakable evil, is going to be Hommlet.
Okay.
I remember unspeakable evil.
What? Why is everybody talking about the box?
Probably because you said, "Hey, this is really evil," and when you say, "Hey, this is really evil," everybody's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we better."
And also I detected some.
But it's become precious to me.
No, you haven't been handling it, so it hasn't become precious to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. It's like
meanwhile, Galabon's like, yeah, no.
Oh, believe me, it's like he would have known. Whether the rest of you would have known or not, he would have known if he was having to make rolls.
Yeah.
My wretch.
I want to get that box as deep away as possible, so nobody.
Oh, we could always throw it down the well.
But what if we need the box? What if we need what's in the box to complete our mission?
And what if we need a sharp stick in the eye?
What?
He says, "What if we need the box?" And I said, "Is that like we need a sharp stick in the eye?"
Oh no! I still want to keep the box. I just want it to be in the dungeon.
I'll put it in my room
have
then.
Something evil in the dungeon.
Yeah, I want it to be locked away behind doors.
In the dungeon.
I don't know how it looks. Okay, I forgot that. But yes,
yeah.
Anyway.
Here at our castle, or whatever this is. Moat house.
Yeah, this is
We can call it a castle if we want.
Well, we can surely make this a castle, but it will need 4 bathrooms.
It has
What is a bathroom?
I don't know.
a privy.
I heard
It'll need a privy.
3.
Several privies.
It's a fortress in a swamp. Okay.
Fell over, sunk, built it on top of that, fell over again.
It's a temple.
But then the third time, it finally stayed.
Yes. All right. So, how long are you here? You next day?
Next day.
Yeah.
Heading off to Nulb. Okay. So next day we go to Hommlet.
And I look at night. I want to know how far away we are from how far the month is ahead.
Oh, okay. Let me take a quick peek here.
The moon is standing.
Yeah. It's 1. Okay. You are. Let's see. I think we said it's getting probably about 7 more days until there's a full moon, or 7 more nights until there's a full moon.
7 more days.
So it's what is that? Is that it's a waxing moon, but the new moon is when it's dark, and a quarter moon is when it's half full. So I guess it's
gibbous moon.
Well, yeah. Which one is that? Is that the full moon?
That's where it's like basically a thumbnail.
Okay, no, it's beyond half. The disk of the moon is beyond halfway lighted. It's moving towards a full moon.
Why are we concerned
over half
the full moon?
Everybody's just. I think somebody had asked before about what time of the month it was, and what the sky was like, and that was back when you were heading out to the ruins. So it was just after a new moon then. So you've been about another week. So it's just beyond a half moon.
Then we're at
It's
the
on
next
its way
interval.
to. Yep. So, all right. Back in Hommlet. Back in Hommlet. Let's move the ribbon over there. You return, and you have you receive a welcome from all of your various and sundry allies here. The temple is, of course, over here. So if you want to, you can go and talk to, I believe it's Father Rule, that is over there at the temple, and see about a cleric. You also can talk to the folks at the Welcome Winch, and that would be your allies Elmo and MacHeath. And then you also have those people over at the towers. And then there's Zert as well. He's one of the people that's there at the Welcome Winch as well.
I want to go to the temple to talk to Father or whoever.
I also want to go to the temple, not to talk to him.
Okay. All right. So you head over to the temple, and you meet a fellow there named Father Rule, and I'm just going to get his token out here, and I'm going to bring it and copy it onto the map for you guys. Okay, so you meet Father Rule over here, and he says, hello. How are you, adventurers? How can I help you?
We need to hire a cleric.
Correct.
Oh,
Preferably one of St. Cuthbert or Palor.
Only
Anybody but his god.
And Father Rule looks at the holy symbol emblazoned on the shield of Arcturus and says, "Oh, Clangadin? What do you have against Clangadin? He is a very powerful god of battle."
All his followers are too preachy. I don't want preachy.
But I want preachy.
And Father Rule looks at you and says, "Son, are you walking in the light of St. Cuthbert?"
Probably not.
Well, keep in mind, we do have a fellow named Tuck who is very skilled in the arts of healing. He works in our. He has been doing some work, apprenticing with our alchemy lab. So he has become very adept at brewing potions of healing. But he seems a little bit restless. And at some point in every cleric's life, St. Cuthbert says that we should get out and see some of the world. You are looking for somebody. Are you looking for a battle cleric? Are you looking for a healer?
Someone to heal, and if he can brew beer or something, that would be great too.
No, we are looking for someone who can fight and can heal. We are looking for someone who is worthy to travel with us. In the name of King Adam.
A healer's just mainly what we need. It's fine.
Yes. But he must not.
He says. He looks over at Arcturus. He says, or
he must be
not
brave.
Arcturus. We've got so many characters with similar names in this party. He looks over at Arcturus. He looks over at Arcturus and he says, "Well, none of the clerics at this temple are going to be as proficient in battle as someone who follows the ways of Clangadin. Clangadin is one of the foremost experts. Their church trains their clerics and their paladins in many techniques of battle. St. Cuthbert, he is his followers, they carry a mace and they will bash something on the head if it gets too close to them, but they are going to be much better at providing support of healing in battle and binding wounds, seeing that people recover from their injuries more quickly, things of that nature.
As long as your apostle is brave and doesn't shy away from combat, I have nothing against him.
Tuck seems very eager, and he will need to be proven before he would be worthy of holding a spot in a temple and being a shepherd of his own flock, if you will. So, yes.
Well, if he wants to, he can come with us and prove himself.
Okay, well, I will get him ready to come with you. Where are you all staying? Are you over at the Welcome Wench?
Yeah, for now, but we have the Moat house out the way.
Oh, yes, that's you fellows. That's you fellows. Good. How goes your efforts out there?
Oh, let me see. We're amassing an army. We're rebuilding.
We have killed a lot of heathens and cultists.
We have gnolls and we have humans. We're doing all right.
And even
you have killed a lot of cultists. And did you tell me that the paladin is converting gnolls to his faith?
Yeah. See, I don't know. That's why. I'm really tired of the whole convert thing. Can we just wipe them out and be done with it?
What?
Well, and he looks at you. He says, he looks at Talon and he says, "Young man," he said, "when creatures like gnolls, they are born and bred as killers. This is true. And when they threaten the lives and livelihood of good folk, they should be cut down. But if they can be brought into the light and they can focus their killing energies on the evils of this world, then the gods are able to use them as tools of the divine. If Clangadin has given it to this paladin to lead gnolls in battle against the forces of evil, then that should be something to celebrate, not something to wish ill on."
Finally, someone who gets me.
Yes, it would be. it would be wonderful if all of the villages, all of the villages of the goblins and the orcs could have temples of Pelor and Saint Cuthbert and Clangadden and Moradin.
And Hextor.
Hextor?
What?
Hextor, yes. He muses a little bit on that one.
What's with Hextor?
Yeah, alright. Yes. Yes, well, actually, I'm not so sure about Hextor. Hextor probably is not the kind of god we want.
Yes.
Tend to be a little bit overly zealous. They tend to like killing simply for the sake of killing, not killing for the sake of cleansing evil.
I think those hexers may have something which could be brought to good use. But I am also against them. That doesn't sound like the best conversion streak.
Yes, most of the stories say that Hextor's main seat of power is on one of the planes of hell, so we probably would not want to have him involved in.
I'm sticking with Baylor, Clangadden, and Saint Bannock. They seem like good gods.
Sounds good to me. All right, so he will get Tuck over to talk to you at the Welcome Winch, the Inn of the Welcome Winch, and when we start out next time, you can figure out who you need to talk to here in town, and what you want them to look at and what you want them to tell you. So might be a good idea if you guys have a chance during the week to use Discord to sort of figure out which of the NPCs you know here in Hommlet you want to interact with, what you want to find out from them. That will help us get through some of that a little bit more quickly. And that way, as you learn information about different items, I can provide that information to you in terms of handouts so you know what you're dealing with. And you will be able to figure out how you want to dispose of that. Now, keep in mind that Hommlet is a village, and that in D&D there is like a gold piece limit based on the size of a settlement that you can basically sell or purchase things. You're likely going to find with some of the art objects and maybe some of the magical items, if they are things that you don't want to keep and use as a party, that you will have to go somewhere else, a big city, like maybe a big city like Furindy, or a big city like Greyhawk, or a big city like Verbabonk, in order to find a large enough settlement that you could get the proper value for that. Now, we don't have to do that in game, but you can just say, okay, you take so many days to go do that, and while your character's off doing that, then other people are doing certain things during downtime. So this is probably going to be it would be great if we can spend one session next session with downtime getting through everything you want to do, but that's going to largely rely on you to be kind of organized and know what you want to do, the order you want to do it, and so we can move through it. Otherwise, it might take a couple of sessions to get through all that. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right, and viewers, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. You caught us at a point in time where we're sort of after a big, huge fight, finding out a little bit of information, and now they have to figure out everything from the treasure. So we're going to probably spend a bit of time doing that now. For your benefit, guys, I have created some handouts on some of the items that you have found, so that when you get those identified and you know what they are, I can rather quickly just hand them out either to the entire party or to an individual, whoever you decide is going to get it. And then that way you can have those available to you. And we don't have to take a lot of time with that during the game. But since none of you are able to do all of that or have spent the time to do all of that yet, then we'll have to do that during the next session. Anything coming up that you guys want to let people know about between now and next Saturday? Okay. If not, I will remind everyone that tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be gathering for our Walker of Waterdeep campaign. They may be starting a dungeon crawl as early as tomorrow. They are in the capital city of Junoon and moving towards or they're staying at the home of a noble, and it's the night before the big Millennial Ascension Games when they are supposed to try to infiltrate the ziggurat and start working their way through that. There's some items that they have to find in there, and they want to disrupt the plans of the evil Sorcerer King, who has been reigning this city for 1,000 years and is about to do something that a lot of people think is maybe not going to go so well for the residents of the town. Monday night, we will be back for Monster Monday. 8 p.m., we are going to be looking at the Clockwork Dragon. That is a new monster, a construct for D&D 5e that appeared in the Acquisitions Incorporated sourcebook. So you can join us at Monday night, 8 p.m. for that. And then Thursday night, we are back for our Sword Coast Chronicles game. And that game took an interesting little turn the other night, as the two bards decided it might be fun to try to swindle a merchant in Waterdeep. And they tried to use some spells against the merchant, and he made his saving throws. So,
boy, did he ever.
Yeah. So that it's going to be interesting to see what the repercussions of that are in the campaign. As I always say, D&D is part improv, so there are no wrong decisions that players make or characters make, but actions do have consequences. So a die has been cast. We will see where it lands, and we will see what the consequences are for the adventurers on Thursday night's game. So that's going to do it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Take care, and we hope you have a wonderful week. And viewers, we hope we see you at the next at the next session. I am going to put the music back on, and then I'm going to see if we can find somebody who is running some D&D, and we will go try to raid them. All right, so let's see. What is happening here? Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go raid BDDC. Right. And everyone, take care. Have a wonderful week. And we will talk to you next time. Good night, everybody.